The sun cracked across the sky, burning the riverbed into dust. Silence ruled, until a hawk screamed, piercing the air with hunger. Beneath the dry reeds, Liam whispered, "The water is gone, and so is safety." His breath rattled, fear dripping from each word. A gazelle stumbled near the edge of cracked mud, its ribs sharp against its skin. A vulture circled, shadows stretching long as if claiming a prize before the fight began. The world was still, yet every creature sensed death waiting in the silence. The earth groaned, carrying no mercy, no hope, only the law of hunger. Storms had passed, leaving emptiness, leaving battles yet to come. A newborn calf wobbled on trembling legs, its mother pressing close, eyes scanning for threats. The air hung thick, dust rising in choking clouds. Liam said, "Only the cruel will drink tonight." Every glance, every step was weighed against survival. Time slowed, hearts raced, and nature whispered its brutal truth. The riverbed, once life, was now an open grave. The wind carried the bitter taste of ash, though no fire burned. Animals gathered at the hollow riverbed, driven by desperation, bound by thirst. Maya said, "They all smell death, yet they cannot turn away." A hyena padded closer, ears flat, lips curled in hunger. The calf stumbled again, legs too weak to fight another day. Liam whispered, "The herd feels the vulture's promise." Tension hung like a storm ready to break, but no rain came. Survival had stripped kindness from every eye, leaving only calculation. The riverbed, once sanctuary, was now a battlefield, and the air choked with dread. The hyena moved closer, paws silent, eyes fixed on weakness. Its fur glistened with hunger, ribs pressing sharp against its skin. Maya whispered, "It chooses the smallest first." Liam's jaw tightened as the calf collapsed, breath wheezing. The mother stood tall, antlers raised, trembling but defiant. Dust swirled around them, blinding, suffocating, thick as war smoke. Predators circled, each step measured, each gaze ruthless. The vulture cried overhead, as if declaring the battle already lost. Nature's law sharpened here. Mercy had no place. The sun dropped lower, bleeding orange into the horizon. Shadows stretched long across the barren ground. Liam said, "Darkness will not protect them, only hide the screams." The herd shifted nervously, hooves clattering against brittle soil. The hyena crept nearer, each muscle taut, ready to spring. The calf cried weakly, voice breaking into the silence. The vulture swooped low, wings slicing the heated air. Maya clutched her notebook, knuckles white, heart hammering, words unspoken. The desert was no stage. It was a trial, and failure meant erasure. Night crept in with no stars, only the dim glow of fading embers across the horizon. The air stilled, but hearts pounded louder than any storm. Liam whispered, "It begins when fear silences the world." The hyena lunged, herd scattering in wild panic, hooves thundering across the brittle earth. The mother gazelle blocked the strike, her body trembling with the weight of her stand. The calf stumbled behind, fragile, lost, desperate. Maya covered her mouth, tears breaking past her restraint. Above them, the vulture hovered, waiting to feast on the verdict of survival. The herd gathered close, pressed together by fear, dust rising from their hooves in trembling clouds. Maya whispered, "They know hunger will choose among them." Liam crouched low, his throat burning dry, his eyes locked on the calf. The mother stood strong, ribs pressing through her thin hide, each breath a labor. The air shimmered with heat, though the sun had not yet risen high. Silence settled between predator and prey, every heartbeat louder than thunder. The innocent calf wavered, swaying as if the earth tilted beneath him. Liam said, "If he falls, so will she." Shadows stretched long across the barren field, as if mocking the weak. The world had no sympathy, only rules carved in bone and blood. The calf stumbled, knees buckling, his cry breaking the fragile silence. The mother pressed against him, eyes wide, scanning the horizon for threats unseen. Maya said, "He will not last another day without water." Liam clenched his fists, feeling useless as predator shadows circled farther out. The hyena prowled, tail low, patient as death itself. Dust choked the air, stinging eyes, turning every breath into ash. The herd shifted nervously, yet no one moved to protect the calf. The law of survival carved each step. The weakest were already condemned. Liam whispered, "They have chosen him without a word." The vulture cried above, a scream of hunger cutting the stillness. The calf's chest rose shallow, breath rattling like dry leaves. The mother licked his face, urging him to stand, her body shaking with desperate resolve. Liam muttered, "She will give everything for him." Maya lowered her eyes, unable to watch the struggle unfold. The hyena paused, calculating, gaze locked on the calf's fragile form. The herd kept their distance, shifting uneasily, unwilling to sacrifice safety for another's child. The desert heat shimmered, turning air into a cruel mirage. In this moment, love stood against inevitability, fragile yet unyielding. The sun climbed higher, shadows shrinking as the land turned to fire. Liam whispered, "Even the strong falter here." The calf staggered upright, legs trembling like reeds in wind. The mother pressed close, eyes blazing with fragile defiance. The hyena stepped forward, muscles twitching but stopped, as if respecting her courage. Maya gasped, her pen frozen above the page, words too heavy to write. The herd parted slightly, some gazelles lowering heads, as though acknowledging sacrifice. The desert cracked louder beneath the weight of survival. The moment stretched endless, balanced between hope and despair, fragile as glass. The calf finally stood, though his legs wavered dangerously. The mother leaned close, steadying him, her breath labored but fierce. Liam murmured, "She holds him up with her will alone." The hyena growled low, yet did not strike, eyes locked with hers in grim recognition. Maya's hand trembled, tears glinting as she whispered, "This is love against death." The herd slowly drifted back, uncertain, yet drawn to witness. Dust glimmered in the sun, turning the cruel scene into a halo of defiance. For now the calf breathed, and the mother claimed victory over despair. The desert, indifferent, waited to test them again. Morning broke without relief, heat rising from the riverbed like a cruel breath. The herd drifted east, chasing a rumor of seepage beneath a shaded bank. Liam said, "If there is water, it will be guarded by terror and teeth." Maya answered, "Hope walks with danger in this place." The calf stumbled, catching himself with a soft cry that cut deeper than silence. The mother pushed her body against him, steady as a failing pillar. Behind them, the hyena tracked their dust, patient as a closing door. Overhead, the vulture spiraled lower, reading the story written in weakness. The herd sensed the narrowing path and pressed tight, eyes glassy with dread. Cracks widened under hooves, the ground groaning like old wood before a break. Liam said, "Every step now is a wager you may never settle." Maya said, "Keep moving, little one, before courage runs dry." The seep was little more than dark mud, breathing faint moisture through the crust. A rival male lowered his horns and drove the mother from the center. The calf slipped back, eyes wide, voice thin as thread against the heat. Liam said, "Hierarchy drinks first, mercy drinks last, and some never drink." Maya said, "She cannot win a wall of bone and fury." The mother held her ground, hooves splayed, muscles shaking yet fixed. The rival stamped, sending shards of dry clay against her shins. The herd watched, unwilling to break the order that kept them alive. The hyena paused at the edge, amused by order that delivers ruin. The vulture crossed the sun, a dark second hand measuring final chances. The mother fainted, opening a narrow lane for the calf to slip through. The rival swung hard, missing by a breath and carving fear into the dust. Wind rose without warning, driving hot sand through every fold of skin. The sky turned pale and furious, and the world shrank to a red veil. Maya said, "Keep your eyes down and your body against the gust." Liam dragged the scarf across his mouth and watched the silhouettes vanish. The calf fell and vanished inside a swirl that looked like smoke. The mother cried, a raw note that carried no promise of rescue. The hyena slipped closer, using the storm to hide his hunger. The vulture lifted high, wings shuddering in the savage wind. The herd fragmented, every creature suddenly alone inside the noise. Liam said, "If she loses him now, the storm will bury his name." Maya said, "Hold the line, hold anything, even air." The dust chewed the horizon, and time stretched thin as dried sinew. When the wind eased, the basin looked rearranged by invisible claws. A puddle blinked under a root, more mud than water, yet precious. The mother guided the calf forward, legs shaking like tired reeds. The hyena broke cover and charged, mouth open with harsh breath. Liam said, "No intervention. Record the truth, do not become it." Maya said, "Truth is still a choice when life hangs on it." The mother kicked, hooves cracking against the hunter's snout. The calf slid into the mud and splashed weakly, eyes burning. The herd lurched backward, a shudder moving through their bodies. The hyena reeled, furious, then reset his line with colder intent. Liam gripped a stone and shook, fighting the urge to throw. The puddle darkened with silt, a promise dissolving while they bled seconds. The chase erupted toward a dead acacia, bones of shade etched on sand. The mother ran crooked to draw the hunter off the calf. The calf stumbled behind, each step a plea the earth barely heard. Liam said, "She is offering her body to buy him breaths." Maya said, "Do not let that price be wasted by fear." The hyena cut across, reading her path, jaw clicking like iron. The vulture hovered low, tasting the outcome that heat had written. The herd stretched into a line, pulled by terror and the need to witness. The mother slipped, regained stance, then drove forward on raw will. The calf tripped again, crying, but found her track and followed. Liam said, "One mistake now ends the story for both." A final lunge drew them into the acacia's shadow, where the dust held its breath. The ground trembled faintly, not from the hyena's chase but from deeper truth beneath the sand. Liam said, "Something old moves here, older than any rival." Maya whispered, "The land itself turns against them." The mother gazelle pressed closer to the calf, ears twitching at the hollow echo below. The herd froze, nostrils flaring, sensing doom greater than teeth or claw. The hyena hesitated, gaze shifting from prey to earth. The sky dimmed with drifting clouds, shading the cracked basin. A fissure split wider, dry dust spilling like smoke. Liam muttered, "It was never the predator alone. They fight the land itself." The calf stumbled, knees sinking into shifting ground, while his mother braced against collapse. Nature revealed its hidden blade, merciless and sudden. The fissure widened with a groan like thunder, swallowing stones and roots. Maya gasped, "The ground devours faster than hunger." Liam pulled her back as soil gave way near their boots. The herd scattered, cries rising sharp and frantic. The mother gazelle leapt sideways, shoving the calf toward firmer ground, her muscles straining. The hyena bolted away, unwilling to challenge Earth's jaws. The vulture lifted higher, circling in restless spirals above shifting dust. The calf stumbled, legs splaying, barely clinging to stability. Liam said, "Her fight is not with him, it is with fate itself." Maya whispered, "And fate hungers louder than predators." The dust clouds swallowed sight, leaving only sound and panic. Silence followed the collapse, a silence more frightening than noise. The herd regrouped, shaken, eyes wide with terror of unseen forces. Liam whispered, "The land just declared war." Maya said, "Predators and prey share one enemy now." The mother licked dust from the calf's face, her body trembling with exhaustion. The hyena reappeared at distance, cautious eyes narrowed at shifting ground. The vulture dipped low, testing air for weakness. The herd edged closer to the mother and calf, breaking their cold distance. Liam said, "Even rivals yield to survival when Earth takes sides." Maya added, "But peace in nature is as brief as breath." The calf leaned against his mother, his chest rising unsteady, alive against the odds. Shadows stretched long as the sun neared horizon, painting the basin in blood-orange hues. The herd shifted uneasy, knowing night would bring fresh danger. Liam muttered, "Darkness does not heal, it sharpens hunger." Maya said, "Even the earth rests uneasy tonight." The mother guided the calf into a sparse patch of thorn shrubs, offering a frail shelter. The hyena prowled at the edges, unwilling to yield completely. The vulture perched on dead branches, eyes like coals waiting for fire. The herd lowered heads in silence, each breath measured, each movement deliberate. The calf trembled, pressing closer, his survival etched only in his mother's will. Liam whispered, "They are a flame flickering against storm winds." The night fell sudden, heavy and absolute, cloaking the basin in silence, broken only by a heartbeat. Liam whispered, "The world ends quietly, not in thunder." Maya said, "Yet beginnings hide inside endings." The mother stood guard, body taut, eyes glowing faint in moonlight. The calf curled beneath her chest, fragile yet alive. The hyena prowled, but did not strike, his outline blending with shadows. The vulture abandoned the perch, wings beating into the dark, unseen yet present. The herd lay restless, twitching at every rustle of thorn. Liam muttered, "They survived Earth's fury, but night writes its own law." Maya whispered, "And no one escapes the sentence of darkness." Dawn cracked open the horizon, red as spilled blood. The herd stirred restless, driven by fear more than thirst. Liam whispered, "This is the hour where choice is torn away." Maya's voice trembled, "They cannot run from what is already here." The hyena advanced, muscles quivering, eyes lit with hunger sharpened by the long night. The mother blocked his path, her body gaunt yet unbroken. The calf pressed into her legs, trembling, his breath shallow and fast. The herd pulled back, forming a ring that offered witness but not aid. The vulture shrieked overhead, wings carving circles like blades. Liam muttered, "The climax writes itself in dust and bone." Maya whispered, "And no one escapes the weight of survival." The hyena lunged, dust exploding beneath his claws. The mother leapt sideways, hooves lashing, striking sparks against stone. The calf stumbled but clung to her shadow. Liam hissed, "Hold, don't lose him." Maya cried, "She cannot fight forever." The herd bolted, their panic a storm of hooves and fear. The vulture dropped lower, shrieking like a herald of death. The hyena snapped, teeth slicing the air, missing flesh by inches. The mother's chest heaved, her ribs pressing against taut skin. The calf's cry pierced louder than the predator's growl. Liam whispered, "One breath stands between them and erasure." The chase tore across the barren ground, every heartbeat measured by dust and claw. The mother darted in broken zigzags, forcing the hyena to waste strength. The calf lagged, legs shaking, voice thin but unyielding. Liam said, "She sacrifices speed for him." Maya's voice cracked, "She chooses love over survival's law." The vulture followed, shadows stretching across them like a sentence. The hyena's growl deepened, his hunger louder than the herd's thunder. The calf tripped and rolled, sand filling his mouth. The mother skidded, spinning back, her body between him and death. Liam whispered, "This is the fight no rule of nature can erase." The hyena struck, jaws closing on air as the mother twisted, horn grazing his flank. The sound of bone on flesh cracked like thunder. Maya cried, "She fights beyond her strength." Liam shouted, "Don't fall, not now." Blood streaked the dust where horn met hide, and the hyena recoiled, snarling. The calf clung to her legs, shivering, his breath broken but alive. The herd froze at distance, silence stretching across the basin like glass about to shatter. The vulture hovered low, sensing triumph in every beat of wings. The mother shook, sides heaving, eyes blazing fire against inevitability. Liam whispered. This moment carves legends from survival. The hyena staggered, growl fading to a rasp, blood dripping into cracked soil. The mother stood swaying, legs trembling, but unbroken. The calf pressed to her chest, silent yet alive. Liam said, "She bought life with pain." Maya whispered, "Love rewrote nature's rule." The herd edged closer, their silence heavy, their eyes fixed on the defiant stand. The vulture shrieked once more, then soared upward, denied the feast. The hyena retreated into shadows, his hunger unanswered. The desert lay still, its trial paused, not ended. Liam whispered, "The climax is not victory, it is survival bruised and bleeding." Maya said, "And tonight, survival belongs to her." Morning arrived without triumph, only the thin quiet that follows a storm of teeth. The basin lay still, a scar cooling in pale light. Liam said, "Survival calls the debt at sunrise." Maya answered, "And nothing pays it back in full." The hyena limped the ridge, watched by 100 wary eyes. The herd held distance, pulled by fear and a need to witness. The mother steadied the calf, breath rough but steady, resolve like wire. Every step wrote a cost into her bones. The vulture traced wide circles, patient as time. Liam said, "She bought him hours, not safety." Maya whispered, "Hours become future when you dare to hold them." The day warmed, and the ground remembered its cruelty. Hope stood, thinner than shade, but it stood. They reached the seep, a bruise of moisture under roots and shadow. The calf lowered his face and trembled as mud kissed his lips. The mother blocked the open side, body agate against fate. Liam said, "Drink now, little heart, before the hour closes." Maya whispered, "Let him learn the taste of staying." The hyena halted, held by pain and the memory of Horn. Dust drifted like ash in a breathless pause. The herd shifted closer, not brave, only bound to witness. The calf swallowed, slow and clumsy, but he swallowed. The mother shook, then steadied, as if nailing herself to the earth. Liam said, "This is mercy without a giver." The vulture rose higher, denied for one more turn. A rival stepped near, head low, horn tips dark from old wars. He watched the pair, and did not drive them off. Order bent, not from kindness, but from calculation. Liam said, "Even rank learns arithmetic when death audits the herd." Maya answered, "They measure risk, and today the numbers spare her." The calf lifted his face, shivered, then leaned into the shelter of her chest. The rival turned away, reading the ledger and finding no gain. The hyena eased into shade, rage shrinking into ache. The vulture drifted to a farther ring of sky. The herd exhaled, a brief sigh of uneasy truce. The sun climbed, and the promise of heat returned to the script. Heat hardened the air until breath scraped like sand. The calf stood taller, still unsteady, still trying. The mother's legs quivered, and a tremor moved through her frame. Liam said, "Strength goes where it is needed, and never returns whole." Maya whispered, "She is paying in pieces now." The herd began to drift, called by distant rumors of shade. The hyena watched, learning patience from pain. The vulture slid lower, tasting the hour with a wider wing. The mother stepped, faltered, and steadied once more. She pressed her face to the calf and held it there. Liam said, "Some endings arrive as a gift wrapped in loss." The light sharpened, and the basin grew very quiet. When the wind finally moved, it carried the scent of iron and dust. The mother let her knees fold, as gentle as dusk. The calf pressed against her and found no shelter rising back. Liam whispered, "The river takes what it loaned." Maya said, "Let her name live where his breath continues." The herd tilted their heads, a quiet bow carved by instinct. The hyena stood, then turned from the body and walked the ridge. The vulture chose the higher current and did not descend yet. The calf stood alone, but not erased, a thin line against the world. Liam said, "She closed the circle we entered at shock." The basin held stillness, and the day went on. The basin breathed in silence, its scars glowing under the dim light of dawn. The calf stood unsteady, framed by the hollow where his mother lay. Liam whispered, "The world remembers by carrying forward." Maya said, "Her shadow lives in him now." The herd drifted near, circling in muted respect, no sound but breath and shifting dust. The hyena lingered on the ridge, gaze hollow, his hunger postponed, not erased. The vulture wheeled high, refusing to descend, as if the moment had closed to him. The sun climbed, soft and slow, pulling the story from night into memory. The calf stepped forward, trembling yet upright, his eyes fixed on the horizon. The herd shifted, opening space for him, a silent welcome into their rhythm. Liam said, "He takes her place, though he has barely begun." Maya whispered, "The future is never ready, it is demanded." Dust lifted lightly under his hooves, a quiet echo of survival's vow. The hyena turned away, fading into distance, defeated not by strength but by endurance. The vulture circled once more, then vanished into the pale sky. The calf lowered his head, breathing steady, a flame that refused to go dark. The land, once cruel, now held stillness as if pausing to witness. The calf grazed lightly, tasting life where none was promised. Liam whispered, "Every mouthful writes her name again." Maya said, "This is how memory survives, one fragile act at a time." The herd lowered heads, grazing alongside him, their circle an unspoken shield. The wind shifted, carrying the faint scent of rain, long promised, but never certain. The hyena's track faded, the predator lost to distance. The sky widened, blue pressing deep into eternity. The calf lifted his head and faced it, a survivor against odds. Shadows stretched long as the sun climbed, and silence turned from grief to rhythm. Liam said, "The circle closes not with death but with continuance." Maya whispered, "Nature writes in echoes, never in endings." The calf walked within the herd, his steps uneven yet unbroken. The mother's body lay behind, but no one looked back. Dust shimmered like gold as hooves stirred it into air. The wind whispered through dry reeds, carrying memory across the basin. Predators were gone, but their presence remained etched in every scar. The herd moved on, a current of life weaving through death's shadow. The final image held steady, the calf walking forward, framed by endless horizon. Liam whispered, "Survival is not victory, it is legacy carried." Maya said, "And legacy walks on four trembling legs." The herd blended into distance, silhouettes dissolving in haze. The basin emptied of sound, yet filled with memory louder than storms. The vulture was gone, the hyena absent, only silence remained. The earth glowed faint with heat, its scars lit like old wounds healing slowly. The story ended not with triumph, but with the echo of endurance. And the echo would not fade, not while life still walked.